G'day everyone, it's Stephen here. Welcome to our first Learning Guide video lecture. This one is all about the introduction and learning goals for Cluster 5. So you're probably well aware by now that this is your first second year subject, and there's something different about that, and we've talked about that in other videos, so we won't go into that here. But it's the first one of your diploma course. And we've talked about a few times now that one of the significant things that's different about this is that this subject is mostly online, so it's something different, and I guess it has some implications for both the learning process and the assessment process that's going to be taking place. The two units that you cover by doing this cluster are CHC CHILD 404A, support the rights and safety of children and young people, and the second one is CHC YTH 501A, develop and implement procedures to enable young people to address their needs. So when you complete this cluster, you will have competency for those two units to go towards your diploma. So that's pretty cool, isn't it? The thing we want to say right up front about the learning guide is something we say at the front of every learning guide, which is the learning guide is not meant to be something that's consumed in one sitting like a block of chocolate. If you eat it all at once, you're going to get pretty sick. But if you eat it bit by bit, take it in, you enjoy it, you appreciate it, and maybe get more out of it. Well, the learning guide is like that. We don't want you to sit down at one block and kind of go through it all and try and take it all in. We want you to have a bit of a crack at just kind of topic by topic, going through bit by bit, idea by idea, and kind of moving through it slowly. And this time, with the online format for Cluster 5, we actually break the learning guide down into 4 topics which are covered over the 4 weeks. So that's pretty good. Make life easier for you, which is what we really aim to do here at SU Queensland Training. Normally in the learning guide, you see the content is made up of 4 different things: essential content, reflection activities, side steps, and further optional resources. In these little video lectures, we're really going to concentrate mostly on the essential content. We'll refer to the reflection activities and side steps and the further resources, but really it is still up to you to go and explore those websites and those articles. We're not going to go through and the content of all of those extra materials and web links and articles and stuff with you in these lectures. You still have to do a bit of that exploratory and reading work in those areas. But basically the learning guides are made up, each of the topics are made up of those kind of 4 different elements that we'll move through. Of course, in this cluster, as in other clusters, we're really concentrating on our framework for youth work practice, but particularly we're looking at how that interacts with this particular theme of child protection. So who are you as the youth worker involved in child protection? What are your own feelings about children, understanding about that, about the ideas of how they should be protected or not protected, what decisions they should make themselves. So there's some personal things you need to work through, maybe even your own experiences in your own families of certain conflict or abuse or harm maybe have to be dealt with. But there's something about that. Who are you, as the youth worker engaging in child protection activities? So we're going to be, touching on a little bit of that in this cluster. Theory, there's lots of theory about children and child protection and child-focused approaches, and lots of information about international, national, state strategies, legislation, policies. Lots of theory about what is harm, abuse, and physical, sexual, emotional, all those, all that kind of stuff. We're going to cover a lot of theory, a lot of things to know about in this field. Practice. Some of the skills that we're going to be getting you to look at are really building on your interpersonal skills, so how to receive a disclosure, how to talk to someone about a suspicion you have that maybe harm is taking place, and then just some of the knowledge skill things that go together around that, about confidentiality statements and skills around reporting and recording and working with other staff and organisations around the child protection processes that need to be in place. And context, this is a big one for context, because child protection requirements kind of differ in terms of legislative or organisational requirements depending on where you are in the country and what organisation you're in, etc, etc. So a lot of stuff in the frameworks area to be looking at in this cluster. And here I want you to just think about your learning goals for this cluster. So it's important right at the outset that you get into that. So Normally these are the kind of questions we get you to ask, and we want you to ask them again this time round. Where am I at in terms of my knowledge, skills and experiences in this area? Where would I like to be with my knowledge, skills, experiences, and how am I going to get there? What are some of the pathways I could pick to improve my knowledge, skills and experiences? Choose one or some of those and then take the first steps in that direction. So there is a space here in this section to record your learning goals, and so after you've finished either reading the little part of the learning guide on this Introduction to Learning Goals topic, or once you've watched this little video, then you should probably move on to filling in your learning goals. Thanks guys, we'll see you soon.